Alrighty, welcome back, guys, to episode 2 of the Thielet and Graves podcast. Today's marquee is the NFL, because we just had the big game, and then a wild big game if you're an Eagles fan. And then we're going to go to the NHL. No MLB tonight, because it's just, they're not even finalized rosters yet for the spring training. There's no really any big news, so we're not going to waste everybody's time with some speculatory stuff. That's stuff that we're not going to really speak on, because there's not even pirate news for once this week, which is great, because no pirate news is good pirate news.
It's great, but it's kind of lame because, I'm down to talk about the MLB, but, when there's nothing to talk about, there's nothing to talk about.
Alrighty, well, let's get started with the NFL. How about the big game? I mean, for me, I know I sent you a video of how I felt about the big game.
Why don't we roll that right now? Because this man was excited about a particular person.
Yeah, I mean, how can you not be excited? It's Kenny Pickett. It's big game Kenny.
Yeah.
Kenny fake slide.
Kenny fake slide.
Kenny Heisman. That is Kenny Pickett, my king. My one good year of football I've had, Kenny Pickett was the quarterback.
Oh, my God.
So let me enjoy seeing him on stage, where arguably he could have been with Steelers. The Steelers gave him a shot.
Yeah, but
anyways, well, we'll go back to the whole Kenny topics. I do want to talk about that at some point. But Mahomes looked god awful.
I'm gonna pull up the ESPN stat line.
He did not even look like he did against the Bills.
Not even a little bit. What was that?
I think it boils down to the Eagles' defensive front. I mean, there's no defensive front like that in the entire NFL. And we saw that on display so well.
Yeah.
I mean, when you force Mahomes to go 21 for 32, 257, 3 touchdowns, and 2 picks, I mean, I get it. That looked like a great stat line. But he didn't have 100 yards in the first half, or near 100 yards in the first half.
Yeah.
It was complete domination from the get-go.
That pick six to Cooper DeJean, is that what sealed the game?
I'm not saying that like you said, sealed the deal.
Yeah.
I had a big momentum switch. Like, I just knew when that happened, I said, "Oh, this game's over." This game was won right here. And how about it? First career interception, first career postseason interception, first career touchdown on the man's 22nd birthday.
That is poetry.
What a way to say, yeah, this is how I ended arguably the longest year of my football career. Because rookie years, if people don't realize, they play a full 12 games, plus Iowa played an extra 2 because Iowa won the the Big Ten East side.
Yeah.
And then they went on and played, I think it was Ohio State that year, or Michigan, in the Big Ten championship, and then played another bowl game. So that's 14 games of your senior season, and then go straight into combine training for the next 2.5 months. Do the combine, then have a pro day, and then Cooper was hurt for half of the combine and half of the pro day stuff because he had a sole pro day. So his offseason was even longer than most players because he was injured for most of it. And then went right into the draft, then rookie minicamp, and then OTAs, and then the regular minicamp, regular camp, and then the 18-game season. Plus now.
Who went first in the draft for the Eagles? Was it him or was it Quinyon Mitchell?
It was Mitchell first.
It was Mitchell.
Then they grabbed the other half of the exciting whites. I had a text from a buddy who's a big Bird fan. He's not from Philly. He's from Pittsburgh, but big Bird fan. And he texted me, "I love these exciting whites. They are so much fun."
That's awesome. When I saw that the Eagles were up 34-0, I I didn't believe it at first. I was like, is this real?
Honestly, I didn't think we were going to get a game like this on that first possession when we got that borderline pass interference. That went against the Eagles. I said, oh, here we go. This is how this game's going to go. And then when they just, that didn't stop them, they went down and still scored. I said, okay, this might be a little more than just the refs. I think the Chiefs actually have to outright win this game because there's no way the refs are going to help them.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, this was different. I mean, this there wasn't any ordinary one. I mean, this gave me like when it was Seahawks Broncos that one year, and it was Peyton getting smacked around.
Yeah, that was. Ooh.
Like, this is what this game reminded me of.
For those Steelers fans that were rooting for the Chiefs just because of the Battle of PA, why? What was the point of that?
No, I don't understand that. Like, so there's two categories of Steelers fans in which we fall into the ones that look at it like how it should be and don't cut into the BS.
Yeah.
And then there's the BS Steeler fans that get mad if Kenny's on a team. He gets mad when AB won his. Gets mad when Juju won his. Like, these people who root against former Steelers who are on better teams than what they were in the Steelers. But then there's us who are like, screw it. We might as well pick the less of the two evils. And that was the Eagles.
Is DeAndre Hopkins cursed in the playoffs?
At the beginning of this playoffs, I thought that the playoffs curse for him would have been over. But after that, watching that, I mean, granted, he had probably one bad drop, and the other ones were not accurate throws to D-Hop.
I mean, he hasn't made the playoffs since that 21 Cardinals team. So, and they were a first-round exit.
I feel bad for D-Hop. I mean, granted, I know he's a Chief, but it's D-Hop.
That's like the one guy on the Chiefs team that I kind of feel bad for.
It's him. I mean, you could say Juju, but Juju already has his.
No.
No. Whoa. I actually liked Juju when he was here. I didn't think he was a bad receiver. He wasn't great.
No, but he did some off the field things.
Yes, but again, he was a rookie when he did that, and he was a second-year player. I mean, he's young. You're going to make mistakes like that. That's just what happens with these NFL stars now. So, like, that's why there's those groups of Steelers fans that don't realize that he's a 23-year-old receiver who just got handed a $1 million check, million plus, for the first time. Like, he's going to have a little bit of fun. If you don't like it, you don't like it. It is what it is. But, yeah, no, like, that's the one guy on the Chiefs that, like, I was like, dang, it would have been nice to see D-Hop ride off in the sunset with a ring. Because he's one of those guys, I mean, I grew up loving that wasn't a Steeler. I mean, he made all those one-handed catches over the shoulders, over the heads of the defenders, stuff you just don't see.
Yeah. Now the question is this the end of D-Hop's career?
I think he goes one more year. I don't think he goes back to the Chiefs. I think he goes somewhere else where he doesn't have to be the number one guy.
We love the moment when my computer turns into a freaking jet engine.
Yeah, that sounds so loud. What did you do to it?
I mean, I have a bunch of tabs open, but
I don't know what's louder, that laptop or the machine behind you. If the viewers at home, the way we're set up, and if you're listening to it, you can't see, but there is a big computer behind Isaac that's loud, and now his laptop decides to turn into a jet engine, so there's a whole lot of excess noise. It's just going to make editing this so much fun.
Oh, it's going to be great, but we can get a good short out of it.
Yeah, it would be a great short. But let's go back to D-Hop. I think he needs to go somewhere where he has like a Devontae Adams next to him, or has a George Pickens next to him.
I mean,
some young guy who, no, Adams is not young, but like some bona fide receiver one where D-Hop will just be an extra weapon. That's what if I was D-Hop, I'd be like, okay, I want somewhere where I'm not the true number one guy, but I am a big part of this offense.
Now there's options. So let's kind of list down some of the options for another wide receiver for the Steelers to go and get. Who do you take? Do you take Cooper Kupp? Do you try to go make a trade for D-Hop? Or is D-Hop a pending free agent?
Pending free agent, if I'm not mistaken, because I think his contract with Tennessee was on its last year.
Yeah.
But you're also forgetting one. Debo.
Oh, yeah.
Debo's now a free agent. Well, not a free agent.
But he requested a trade.
And then Devontae Adams is not going back to the Jets, which was reports coming out of there because they're moving on from Rodgers.
Yeah.
But, again, that's a package deal. If the Steelers do want Devontae Adams, they're going to have to suck it up and deal with Rodgers for at least a year. Because wherever Adams goes, Rodgers goes.
And that's exactly why I don't want them to go get Aaron Rodgers.
I don't want Aaron Rodgers.
No, I don't want a 41-year-old quarterback on our team. Like, Russell Wilson at 36 years old was old enough. Big Ben retired, 3 years ago?
4 years.
I'm still not...
No, 3 years because he has 2 more years until he's eligible for Hall of Fame.
Yeah. We don't need another geriatric quarterback.
No, we don't. We don't need somebody who can't move outside the pocket. We also forgot about another free agent, T. Higgins.
Oh my God.
Chris Godwin's another one. I'm just looking up Mari Cooper from Bills is another option.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of receiver options. Stephon Diggs is an option. I mean, I get it. Is it cancer in the locker room?
Yeah, okay. So just grading some of those guys. T. Higgins, yes, please. I know it's unlikely because he's on a division rival, but I think if we can get T. Higgins paired up with George Pickens and then keep a guy in the 3 slot like a Van Jefferson or a Mike Williams,
or what about a Roman Wilson?
That's
why we drafted
Roman
him.
Wilson doesn't get hurt every 5 minutes.
I don't think he was hurt. I think there was something else behind the scenes that they just haven't told us. I mean, I get it. He was hurt going into the year.
Yeah.
But it doesn't take all year to be hurt from a hamstring.
Yeah.
So I think there was something else behind the scenes that we just don't know. Or maybe they just didn't want to play him.
Maybe.
And there could have been that. But at that point, why draft him if you don't want to play him?
Doesn't make sense to me.
Like, why waste what was he, a 4th-round draft pick? Something like that? 4th, 5th?
I don't even remember.
But... yeah, well, that also goes back to coaching and not knowing your personnel.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then, I mean, there's so many options, at least if we're going back to the Steelers, that, we could do in the receiver option.
Yeah. But here's the thing. We gotta actually use our receivers. We can't just use George Pickens, especially now that we know he can get injured.
Yeah.
And he has.
Well, granted, that was a cold game. He pulled a hamstring in. I mean, it hasn't been that cold in Pittsburgh. Well, we're going through it right now. It hasn't been this cold in Pittsburgh in a long time, if I remember right. He was playing, I think the game he pulled it was 12 degrees outside.
But those 3 games without him, we looked crippled.
Yeah, and honestly, if I'm George, which I'm looking at, I'm saying, look, you need to pay me.
Yeah.
Because without me, your offense looks worse than what it already is.
We can't use... Pat's great, but we can't use him as a wide receiver 1.
No, we can't. Pat Freiermuth is a Heath Miller.
Yeah.
I have said this a handful of times to other people, and people look at me, and I say, he's a Heath Miller. He can block, but he's more of a passing threat.
Yeah.
And
that's why you got Darnell Washington, because he's a better blocking threat.
And then Darnell Washington's also a good end zone threat.
Yeah, he's great in the red zone.
That's where we need him.
Yeah.
And we're just not using him in that aspect until later in the year. And that point, what was the point?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Pat Freiermuth is not a receiver 1. He wasn't even a receiver 1 in college when he was in Penn State. He was that guy in the middle of the field that just sat there, was like, hey, I'm open, because they forgot about me. That's the type of receiver Freiermuth is.
Yeah, they need to use him more because if they get the proper usage out of him, he's probably has a future. It's funny to say future because he's going into his 5th year already, but he probably has a future as like a top 10 tight end in the league.
Honestly, top 5 in the
Maybe.
league if we use him the right way. But it all boils down to our quarterback. And what quarterback do we get?
Yeah.
Do we play the game of Sam Darnold? Do we bring back Fields? Do we bring back Kirk Cousins? Or do we bring in Kirk Cousins?
No.
I mean, we already know Russ is not coming back. There's been so many reports that Russ is not coming back to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
At least from Jay Glazer, who normally gets the stuff right for the Steelers since him and Tomlin are real close.
Please retain Justin Fields. Please.
I get that. You want to keep Fields, but we haven't seen much of Fields. There were 6 games of Fields. I mean, what is it going to look like in the dog days of the football season when we're deeper in the football season where it actually matters? I'm not saying that all the games don't matter, but like there's a certain point in the NFL season where every game is life and death.
I don't hate the Darnold idea, to be honest, but at the same time, I'm like,
if we get a Donald or a Cousins, we need to draft a guy.
Oh, 100%.
There is no way around it. We should honestly, even if we get a Fields and sign Fields to like a 2-year contract and be like, look, this is your trial run again. Well, we're drafting a guy behind you.
There's very few quarterback options where they shouldn't go and draft a quarterback. I don't know if they should use a 1st-round pick on a quarterback.
No, I'm looking at these draft boards for these quarterbacks. I don't like any of the guys in the 1st round, and that's nothing against them.
Yeah.
None of them are like Steeler-like quarterbacks.
He's more of a college football guy than I am.
Honestly, the best 2 quarterbacks for like a franchise like the Steelers, or we saw them in the national championship. That Riley Leonard from Notre Dame and Will Howard from Ohio State. They're both guys who, I mean, I could see them both under center running an offense well. I mean, and then Riley Leonard gives what Arthur Smith likes, a mobile quarterback, a guy who can move outside and throw the ball downfield. I mean, I'm going to catch a lot of flack for this, but it reminds me of a lot of a Wyoming Josh Allen when Josh was just coming out of college, raw. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be folded and mixed with him. Like, Riley has all the intangibles to be like a Josh Allen. He's massive. I'm thinking he's 6'5".
Yeah,
he's over
that's the same height as Josh Allen.
He's over the 215 mark. I mean, and then I saw him hurdle a linebacker from Georgia. I mean, and Georgia linebackers aren't small linebackers.
Yeah.
Like, that's SEC football. And he has all the intangibles to be a good mobile quarterback that likes to play action, that likes to dump it off, or throw the ball 50 yards down the field because he has the arm talent to do that. Now with Will Howard's more of a pro-style quarterback, which was what Ohio State runs, a pro-style. Use the running back in the play action, or hand the ball off, or do the read option, or the RPOs, which is what Chip Kelly liked to do, which also what Arthur Smith likes to do.
Yeah.
So we're going to those 2 quarterbacks. I mean, Quentin Ewers, great quarterback. Dylan Gable, great quarterback. Shedeur Sanders, not going to speak on that. The only reason Shedeur is this high is because A, he's Deion's kid, and then B, because he has Travis Hunter on the other side, give him the ball to.
Yeah.
If he's supposed to be this good, it's the same thing I said about Bryce Young. If he was this good, how come there was no playoff appearances? There was no championships won. He didn't even win the Big 12 or even in the Big 12 game. How is he supposed to be? And you can say, well, football is not all about this one person, but he's supposed to be this generational talent. He should be taking over games. And I have yet to see a game where Shedeur Sanders took over in college.
Yeah. I don't, like I said, I'm not a big college football guy, so I don't know. Was Caleb the same way, or was Caleb?
Caleb was different. Caleb took over football games. I mean, you can see that. I mean, granted, you can say he had Jordan Addison. He had some other guys from USC's receiving core that was really good for 2 years. But to be honest, Caleb took over games. I mean, granted, I'm not a big Caleb guy. I wasn't when he was drafted.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I didn't like the attitude from Caleb Williams. I mean, the attitude, like in the all the things. I mean, again, you don't know what's true, what isn't true. When he was talking about having part ownership and having so much of the franchise, so I don't know how much of that is true or how much of a cancer he is. I'm not saying that he is a cancer, but like there was a lot of attitude problems that I didn't like out of him.
Yeah.
But he was a good football player. He would improvise and take over games that way. So, and then Bryce Young was that way too. But the difference is Bryce Young is just like how Shedeur Sanders was. Came out of Alabama. How many national championships does Bryce Young have? 0. How many does Shedeur have? 0. And he's supposed to be playing with NFL talent guys. And he's not doing what you're supposed to do if you have NFL talent guys around you. And you're supposed to be this generational talent.
Yeah.
So that's why these first-round draft picks, these first-round draft graded like quarterbacks, I don't like. Because they're supposed to be these generational talents that struggle in these big games. Well, Riley Leonard, who is supposedly a the third-round draft pick, who just led last year a Duke team to a great 4-5-0 start until he got hurt, and then a Notre Dame team who honestly, like, they were good last year, but they weren't playoff good. Where this year they were in the national championship. And then you can say the same thing about Will Howard. I get it. He had to bag him against Michigan. And again, as Ohio State, Michigan, anything can happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like West Virginia. Any team can win, but it doesn't matter down the road. That's just how that rivalry is. It's kind of like a Ravens Steelers. Like, it doesn't matter how good each team is. You just don't know how that game's going to go.
Right.
So him not playing great, and again, really didn't affect me on his draft grade. I think, honestly, replace Shedeur and Quentin with Riley and Will, because that's where your two best quarterbacks are coming from, or from those two players, and not the Quentin Ewers and Shedeur Sanders. Even look at Quentin Ewers. He had a challenge for his job against another quarterback.
Yeah.
Like, he was fighting for his job with, I mean, I get it, he's a Manning. And
Arch Manning.
And it is a Manning. But if you're supposed to be this, like, great guy that's just to lift you up, like, you shouldn't be competing for your job no matter what. So that's why I'm not too high on these guys. It's not what they're doing on the field. It's stuff behind the scenes that no one's been catching.
Yeah.
But anyways, moving on from these quarterbacks I just went on a tangent about. There's another free agency thing I want to talk about. So if the Debo thing happens, that opens up Cup. Do you think Cup leaves? Cup's leaving LA. Do you think Cup goes up to the Rams? I mean, up to 49ers?
I don't see it. I don't.
Tell us why.
Well, here's one thing, because I think the 49ers want to use Ayuk as a wide receiver 1.
Ayuk is a receiver 1. I mean, he got hurt, so there's not much we can say.
Right. But also, they should be using Ricky Pearsall more.
That's why they drafted him.
Yeah.
What was he, a first-round draft pick?
31st overall.
So, I mean, Debo's older, and so is Cup. I mean, Cup could be plugged into that second spot up there, which, honestly, a Cup, Pearsall, and Brandon Ayuk tandem, it's a little bit of a scary...
It's a scary trio.
And plug Kittle in that as well.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
And then CMC. I mean,
well, if CMC's legs don't snap in half again.
For the, 4th season out of 5 years?
Yep.
But, yeah, I mean, I don't know what's up with these guys in the NFL so far. There's been a lot of big names saying, I want out of here. Like, I want to go somewhere else. Like, this is weird. We're not used to this.
I don't know why, but I kind of see the 49ers with, like, an Amari Cooper. I think he would fit well into that.
Where do you think T. Higgins is going to go then?
I've heard a lot of rumors that he's going to go to the Panthers.
Carolina. He's going to.
I've heard a lot of rumors. I don't want that to happen because
He's just going to waste his talent down there.
yeah, they're gonna waste his talent like they did with. Well, I don't know if you can say Deontay was talent wasted.
Well, Deontay Johnson couldn't catch the ball that was thrown at his chest. So
Yeah,
no,
and he's just a. Who's more of a locker room cancer, him or Stephon Diggs?
well, Stephon had the stats to back up what he was saying. Deontay Johnson wanted AB money and was not even half AB stats.
He had a 0 touchdown season in 2022.
I mean, I get it. We had a rookie quarterback for most of that year, but you still have to do something.
That doesn't matter when George Pickens was throwing up incredible rookie numbers.
Oh, insane rookie numbers. With Kenny throwing up equally not half bad rookie numbers for the crap that he had to go through with Canada.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to dive into that because, again, we're going to run that clip again of me screaming my head off because I was so excited to see my Pitt Panther, Kenny Pickett, go out and we'll go 0 for 1 with 0 yards and 3 kneel downs. That's not the point. Stats don't matter. I was happy to see him on that field. Do you think that's going to come back and bite us? Letting him go for these two quarterbacks? That one out of the two are not even going to be here anymore?
I really hope not. And right now, I don't think so because if he stays with the Eagles, he's obviously not going to be a starter.
No, but he did win a game he won the NFC East title for the Eagles. Let's go back and look at that game. I mean, I get it. He did do a full somersault and landed on his head during that game. But he still had 2 touchdowns and over 150 yards, if I'm not mistaken.
That is probably my favorite clip of the entire NFL season is watching him. I watched that on repeat.
I have it saved to my cell phone right now because my buddy, who's a Penn State fan, he went back, clipped it, sent it to me, and he said, "So this is your guy."
He's trolling you.
Oh, he's actually a former student of year 2, Mike Hodges. Mikey, yeah.
Oh, it was Mike.
So Mikey went in and sent it to the group chat for fantasy football at my Chick-fil-A that I work at.
Oh, that's funny.
And then he added me in the group chat. So that day was a rough day for me. It was a very rough day. But I just feel like I have a feeling that's going to come back and bite us.
Yeah.
Because we didn't give him a fair shot. I mean, granted, do I think we would have done okay with Kenny this year? Who knows? I mean, we could have been better. We could have been worse.
Yeah.
But to be honest, being worse is a good thing for us. We get higher up in the draft and draft another receiver or a running back.
Yeah, because we have no idea if Najee Harris is going to...
Not even that. Najee's not even a running back 1 anywhere else in the league. I don't think he's a running back 1 anywhere else except Carolina. A team like Carolina.
Yeah.
He's not a good NFL running back. He was a great college running back. But he's not a good NFL running back. He's supposed to be. When he was drafted by us, we were sold that this guy was going to be a Derrick Henry. It was sold to us that he was going to be a guy who's going to run over these guys and keep going down the field. He was also good in the pass game. He gets 1 hit, and he's down. And it's only for 2 yards. So I think our best bet is to move on from Najee.
Yeah.
And it would have been nicer to be up in the draft because we could have got Genty. Genty's not going to fall down to us at 23. We're going to have to move up. So we're going to have to sell more pieces. Just because we wanted to play 1 playoff game and leave and just say, hey, we made the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting real sick of these giving up once we get a winning record seasons.
That's just not Steeler football. We're not the. I don't want to call it the Browns or call out like the Panthers, but we're
call out the Browns all you want.
We are a franchise that wins championships or known for winning championships. We have 6 of them.
There's a reason why we're tied for league lead.
There's tiers to NFL franchises. Tier A of like history-wise is us, the Cowboys, the 49ers.
Would you put the Patriots in there?
Yep, I will put the Patriots up there. And then now we're going to have to say the Chiefs because they won so many in a row. But anyways, the Chiefs, those 5 franchises are known for winning championships. Oh, Green Bay, another one.
Yeah, put the Packers up there.
But you put Packers up there. And then there's the second tier, like the Ravens, like the Ravens who are good, consistently good playoff teams, like the Bills and stuff like that echelon of teams.
Oh, you mean the team that lost 4 straight in the 90s?
Anyways, they'll be back. And you really want to put Detroit up there with Buffalo now because they're actually been really good for 2.5 years now.
I'm still hesitant, but
okay, Detroit to be determined. And then there's tier 3, and then there's their Carolina Panthers, and then there's the Browns, and then there's the Cardinals, and then there's some other teams that are consistently bad.
Yeah.
Are known to be not great franchises.
Or are consistently in the middle of an identity crisis.
Yes. Now the Steelers, are now moving down to the second to third tier just because we're so happy with being 9-8 and going to one playoff game. That's not Steeler football.
Nope.
That is not the Steeler that you and me grew up watching. But anyways, we can dedicate a whole episode to what's wrong with the Steelers franchise in general.
Yeah.
But let's take a break. And then come on the other side of this, we'll talk a little bit of NHL hockey.
Let's talk some puck. Let's do it.
Alrighty, welcome back to the Thielet and Graves podcast. So that was it for the NFL.
Yeah.
We'll journey back to the NFL next week. Because, again, I mean, this is a week after. There'll be 2 weeks after the big game and what happens there.
Yeah.
But there's going to be a lot more storylines coming out of every franchise, especially leading up to the Combine. But let's talk puck. It's hockey time.
It is hockey time. So we've unofficially crossed through the first half of the season. It's a little longer than the first half. The Penguins specifically are 57 games in. So they have 25 games left in the season, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it's going to be a long end to the season.
Very long end. Very, very long end.
But now that we've hit this point of the Four Nations break, I think it's time to grade Penguins players on how they've done this season on offense, defense, just everything in general.
Alrighty, let's get into it.
So let's go down the roster. I'm just gonna name names. There's a few guys I'm gonna keep out especially after the Pettersson trade. There's a few guys, since they only played a handful of games since being back, it doesn't make sense to grade them. But let's start with Nola Chari.
I mean, he's there.
He's there. He can hit.
I give him a solid C.
Yeah.
Because he does his role, which he's an instigator, gets in, hits the guy on the ice.
He's doing it this season without getting hurt.
Yeah, which is great. I mean, that's great, right?
Yeah, I'd say C, maybe C-. All right. Anthony Beauvillier.
Oof.
I'm going to be honest. I've been impressed.
I've been too.
I'm going to say B. I'm going to give him a B.
I'm going to agree with you. Like a B-.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm at with him. Next.
Michael Bunting.
He has a plus-minus of -16 right now.
Does he really?
-16.
I did not realize it was that bad.
He has 14 goals, 14 assists.
He's somehow this season out of nowhere become a power play merchant, which I'll take it. I'll take the power play goals.
I do, because we are now in the greater side of power plays, because out of nowhere our power play decided to wake up and actually playing hockey.
We're the 6th best power play in the league.
If you would have told me this 1 year ago today, that we're the 6th best power play in the league, I'd be like, there's no way.
No.
There's no way. Because 1 year ago, I sat down for the Panthers game when we had 7 power plays and scored 1 out of 7.
Yeah. We were 30th in the league last year.
almost dead last.
There's 32 teams.
So I give him a solid B. I
Yeah.
mean, he's. I get it. Everyone puts more hate on him because he was part of that Gensel trade that nobody liked.
Yeah.
But again, he's doing what he's supposed to do. And
Here's-
he's putting the puck to the net and letting stuff happen. There's a reason he has 14 assists.
Here's the thing, though. He's gathering trade interest.
Why trade him? Why trade him again?
Yeah, it makes no sense to me. Like, he's after this season, I think he only has 1 year left at $5 million. So you might as well ride out his contract because he's been solid.
Yeah.
So
Alrighty, let's get on to the next one.
the GOAT, the captain, Sidney M. Effin Crosby.
You already know this one. It's going to be an A for me. I mean, how can you not say anything else? Crosby is putting this team on his shoulders and riding off in the sunset with us.
He minus the 2 games he missed this past weekend because of the injury. The last couple of games, like the start of February, he was on fire.
Before he got hurt, he was on a 4-game goal streak.
Yeah.
I remember reporting on it for our show. And I'm just like going through it and say, there's no way it's been 4 straight games. And I go back in the game logs. Oh, there's Crosby. There's Crosby again. Oh, yep, that's Sid. And I was thinking, wow, I didn't even realize he was on a 4-game streak until halfway through me writing my script out. I said, wow. And he has 58 points.
Yeah.
58. The next person next to him is 48, and that's Raquel.
He's leading the team in points.
And right now, he's bringing the team in points with 41 assists and 17 goals in 55 games played.
He's timeless.
He's a fine wine, they say. That he ages like a fine wine.
This man is 37 years old, and he's still doing this. All right. Next up, Cody Glass.
I mean, he has 3 goals, 10 assists, 13 points, but
D?
D minus.
I'm not D minus. I think is a little harsh, but definitely a D because
Like, he has not been doing anything on that line.
yeah,
It's just anything below our second line has been like, okay, they're there. Type of seasons. It's like we get nothing, which just shocks me because at the beginning of the year, our third and fourth line was going crazy all the beginning of the year. I said, oh wow, we actually have depth in our roster for once.
which we haven't been able to say for years.
Since 17, since the year we won.
Yep.
So what I was being very hopeful that, okay, we're going to have an okay time. But now, for some reason, the third and fourth line can't click for another year in a row.
Yeah. Yeah, I think at least we got him for cheap.
Yes.
We paid Nashville a low-level prospect in Jordan Frasca for him. So
Very low prospect.
and you could easily flip him at the trade deadline. Honestly, I wouldn't mind that because there's other guys you can use on those bottom lines.
Oh, even there, you can even flip them, use them for something else, and then you
You can probably get a third-round pick out of him.
get a third-round pick and then bring up a guy like Rucker McGordy,
Yeah,
who we traded for and still haven't used.
yeah. It's about time we bring him up,
I mean,
or give Valtteri Puustinen another
we
shot.
talked about this last week, how we are not using Wilkes-Barre, and we are refusing to use Wilkes-Barre.
And when we are, we're calling up guys that sure have some NHL experience, but they're not the guys we need. We need depth scoring. Like, why are we bringing up Boko Amama? Like, he doesn't score. He's got great fists. He knows how to chuck some knucks.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right, next.
Kevin Hayes,
He's surprised me this year.
especially lately, he's really picked it up.
Which, again, you can say the Penguins really picked up their game since we've not had Ross, Malkin, and Crosby play. It's like they finally realized, oh, we could actually play good hockey without them.
Yeah.
So I give Hayes like a good solid B plus.
Yeah, I'm gonna say B. I'm gonna say B. Not. I'm gonna. We got him for nothing. We traded future considerations to the Blues, and we're only paying half his salary. You know who's paying the other half?
Blues?
The Flyers.
Oh, that's even better.
Because they retained 50% of his salary when they sent him to the Blues last season.
He has 9 goals, 5 assists with 14 points. That's not like stat line you're thinking, oh, he's having a great year.
No.
But if you realize for what his role is on this team, he's having a great year.
Yeah.
For his role of just being a leader on a lower line. Because he's an older guy, which I don't understand why we're not using our rookies to put him on a line with Kevin, who Kevin can help him learn the NHL hockey, like how it works in the NHL.
Like we should put him on a line with younger guys. Like, yeah, bring up someone like a Rutger McGroarty and then have a line with like him, Kevin Hayes, and maybe like a Blake Lizotte or a Danton Heinen. All right. Speaking of Blake Lizotte, what do you give him?
Blake Lizotte, he has 9 goals, 4 assists for 13 points.
He got really, really cold to start the calendar year of 2025.
He did. He has a plus-minus of +3 at the moment.
Okay.
Which is good compared to that everybody else has a plus-minus of 10 above. So it's just that type of year we're having.
And Michael Bunting is somehow a minus what? You said a minus 16?
Minus 16. Michael Bunting. Right here. Yep, minus 16.
That's insane.
Crosby's a minus 14. I mean, a minus 15. And then the worst one's Brian Russ at negative 21.
Okay. That gives me pain.
Yeah, but yeah, that's not the point here. But
Lizotte, B minus.
Agreed. He's a B minus.
Yeah.
He's doing things right, but he's not like killing it out there.
He had 2 concussions this season, and he comes back from that second one and gets on a heater.
Kind of reminds me of the insanity run that Jeff Carter went on a couple years ago. And that stretch that Jeff Carter decided to be 2011 Jeff Carter again.
Yeah.
That's kind of like what the season that Lizotte is having.
And it's funny. Jeff Carter, former King. Blake Lizotte,
former King. We must really like these 4 former Kings players in our franchise.
I mean, it's worked out well.
Oh, yeah, it does. I mean, big Jeff Carter has given me a lot of hope a couple of times.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk Gino.
I mean, he's not looking like Gino.
No.
He has 34 points. I get it.
That injury doesn't look good.
No. The injury does not look good.
I think it'd keep him out for a while. Like, we'll see what happens after 4 Nations, but it doesn't look good.
No, it doesn't look good at all. And the thing about Malkin is that he has given up the puck a lot this year. Like, a lot more than usual. Like, I wished we could see his turnover and, like, how often he turns the puck over. Because I bet he's pretty high.
Yeah.
Between him, Carlson, and Tanger, like, them, and those are supposed to be our leaders.
Yeah.
Those are supposed to be our guys. And Malkin's just falling in the middle with everybody. He's not playing. He's also trying to play the same way he played when he was 20.
Yeah.
Which, the thing about, well, you can say, well, Crosby does everything he does, but he does. Again, that's different. Crosby has elevated his game with the years that he's put on his body. Malkin has yet to change the way he plays with how much he's aging.
Yeah.
So he has to change and play a little more smarter with the puck and not try to play around with the puck like how he was used to be able to do. He's not going to be able to get around guys the way he used to. Maybe pass the puck a little more or pick up your head for once and look around.
I'm going to give Gino a C-.
I'm going to be a little nicer. I'm going to give him a C+, because it's still Gino. But I think C- is too harsh, and C is okay. I just think he's not having a relatively bad year,
Yeah.
but he's not having a Gino year.
No.
So he's like in that middle part right now.
And who knows if he's ever going to have a Gino year again at 30, 38?
Yes, 38 years old. We'll see.
All right. I got strong feelings about this one. Matt Nieto.
Why don't you get started with this one?
F.
F.
Flat F. He does nothing. I don't know, like, $900,000 a year. That's not a lot. You should at least do something. Why aren't we waiving him?
He has 1 goal, 2 assists, and 3 points.
Still better than someone. We'll get into that someone in a little bit. But
And he's a winger.
yeah.
He's having a Deontay Johnson season. That's what he's having. He's having a year where he's supposed to be. I'm not saying he's supposed to be like a number one guy, but you play offense and you're only putting up 1 goal.
Like
And 50. He played 29 games and only put up 1 goal.
he is coming back from a torn ACL and MCL, but still.
Then why isn't he in Wilkes-Barre, where he can take some, like, you know how like MLB has those rehab games?
Oh, they put him there. They put him there.
He should be
before he came
staying there.
Yeah.
He should stay there for a little bit longer. He's not all the way back. You can see it. He's not trusting his legs.
He didn't look that great in Wilkes-Barre during that conditioning stint.
No, he didn't. And I think that's when we should be bringing up these guys who look good down there and see what we got.
Yeah. All right. Ricard Raquel.
If you would have told me, again, this time 1 year ago, that Raquel will have 25 goals, 23 assists, and 48 points.
Leading the team in goals.
Yeah, hey, leading the team in goals,
Yeah.
I'd have been like, there's no way. Like, he looked like a shell of himself last year. And
Yeah.
now he's looking like why we were all happy when he got traded over here. So, I give him an A.
Yeah. I'm almost tempted to say A+, but I'll say A.
He's going insane right now.
We'll have to see what he does at Four Nations and then the rest of the season. But if he stays at this pace, then he's got future as one of these guys that can lead a team. And he's 31 years old.
Yes.
He's already 31 years old, and he's doing this.
Which is insane to think about, that we have a guy who's younger doing this.
Yeah.
Compared to a Crosby. So, like, this Pens team has a lot of figuring out to do in the offseason, and we have a lot of problems.
Yeah.
A lot of holes. And this offseason, I know we're talking about the season, and we're talking about player grades, but this offseason for us is crucial.
Yeah.
It's make or break for us.
It's big. All right. Brian Rust.
Well, he's third on the team with points, with 42. He has yet another 20-goal season and another 20-plus assist year.
Is it time to finally give him his flowers? Non-Pens fans? I swear, there are so many opposing fans that just treat Brian Rust like he doesn't even exist.
Yeah, he gets the treatment that Gensel got when Gensel was very young, that no one realized that Gensel was on the same line as Sid. Because everyone says, oh, Russ is on the same line as Sid. He's only playing good because Sid's with him. He played good without Sid.
Mm-hmm.
He consistently plays good without Sid.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the goals are all on him. They're not because of Sid. So I give him A.
Yeah.
One of the few A's that I'm going to give out for this team. But Rust gets an A because Rust is just consistently good every single year. And we get the same thing year after year after year, which is honestly a guy that we should invest in
Yeah.
and not be a part of these trade talks.
Yeah. It makes no sense why he's part of trade rumors.
Like I mean, I'm not saying he's our future because he's not a young guy,
No.
but he is a nice fallback plan.
Mm-hmm.
He's a consistent guy who gives us consistent work every single year.
Short term, while we draft high for a few years.
Be great.
Yeah, him and Ricardo Kell.
Those are your two.
Yeah.
Which is, what, 3-4 years down the line? We got to start thinking about that.
I don't even think it's that far away, to be honest.
You think it's... I think Gino has 2 more years. Crosby has at least 3 or 4.
Yeah. I think they ride out their contracts.
I mean, you kind of have to with them, too.
Yeah.
All right, let's move it on.
Last for the forwards, Philip Tomasino.
Who? Who exactly? Who's that? Because that's how he plays.
Yeah.
You don't know who he is.
You definitely didn't know who he was before he got traded here. Did you see his career stat line?
Yes, it's insane.
This season with Nashville, 11 games, 1 assist. 28 games with the Penguins, 7 goals, 5 assists for 12 points. That's not insane by any means, but to go from doing nothing with Nashville to coming over here and having 7 goals and finding his way to the second line a lot is solid. Like,
I'm not a big fan of him.
you're not?
I'm not. He's just one of those guys that gets flexed around because you don't know where to put him.
Again, got him for cheap.
I mean, yeah, we get all these guys for cheap, and half of them don't play good. And this is another one of those guys that doesn't play good. That's why I said, who? Who's that? Who are you talking about?
Yeah.
Because he's a non-factor. He's another non-factor forward that we have. Like, I'm not saying that every forward we have should be a factor, but if you're a guy who gets flexed from the third to second round, you should be second line. Everyone knows what I meant. But you should be a factor, and he's not.
Yeah. I still want to give him his flowers. I'm going to say B-.
I give him a C- to D+.
Wow. All right, let's talk defenseman. I know there's one you want to save because you want to bash the shit out of him.
Please
So,
give me him last.
Let's start with Matt Grzelcyk.
He's having an okay year.
Yeah, he had a really bad start,
He did. Terrible start.
but he's picked it up lately. I would say C.
I give him a C-. C. This is where I sit.
Yeah.
I mean, our defenseman this year has been awful.
If he continued what he was doing this far into the season, he'd be an F.
Yes, 100%. Well, we have another an F grade defenseman.
We may have a few. This next guy, P.O. Joseph.
Welcome back, P.O., by the way.
Welcome back.
It's not like we missed you.
I think he's an F.
Yeah, he's an F. That 100%. He is a plus minus of 16. He's a defenseman.
Yeah.
How do you call yourself a good defenseman and then say I have a plus minus a negative 16?
It's not good.
That's okay. So we'll have an F counter on our screen
Yeah.
for people who are listening to this. This is now F number 2.
Yeah. All right. This guy's an interesting one. Erik Karlsson.
Which
Don't-
Erik Karlsson are we talking about? Beginning of the year Erik Karlsson or now Erik Karlsson?
Can we go back to last year of the Sharks, Erik Karlsson?
I wish.
I wish. Ugh.
I'm not saying he's playing bad. He's not playing bad hockey.
But he's not playing hockey that deserves a $10 million contract.
Oh, for sure. He's not playing that great hockey. But, I mean, we saw a beautiful goal from him when we played the Flyers over the weekend.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, that was a great goal, and I'm hoping he can. This Four Nations will do something for him. He can.
he's playing, right?
He's in. He's an alternate captain for Sweden.
I hope that this wakes him up.
I hope so.
I hope that all the Pens that are playing in this Four Nations gets that playoff taste.
Because there's a chance he could play on a top pair with Victor Hedman.
That's dangerous.
That's insane.
But I hope that they get this, and then they get that little poke in the back that everybody needs. Is like, okay, we want to play more hockey like this, and actually start playing like how they're supposed to. I mean, I give Carlson a B- season. That's what I'm giving him.
Yeah, I'll go with B-. I think lately he's definitely picked it up. He had a, especially around that like stretch where we were actually winning in like November. He was solid. He wasn't scoring, but he was.
It was a big part of most of those wins.
He was collecting those apples.
He was.
All right,
He has 32 of them apples as we speak right now.
that's pretty good.
That's really good for a defenseman.
Yeah. All right, Tanger.
That's all I gotta say about Tanger.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd have been one thing if he didn't turn over the puck as much as he has.
He's got 7 goals.
Yeah, which is a lot for Tanger for a season. But he's given up the puck so much.
Too much.
Way too much to be a leader inside that defenseman group.
Yeah.
I'm trying to pull up his things real quick to see his plus minus. Plus minus a negative 16. Now, how many of those goals he's been on the ice for has been his fault? At least half of them.
Yeah.
That's just being kind.
Yeah. He's the other factor to blame for that goal that Blomqvist
Tapped in.
the other night against the Flyers.
I-
You could see him like slowly just losing it.
He's one of those guys that, like, you're like, oh, I'm happy I'm seeing Tanger play. But he's nowhere near what he's supposed to be. He's not playing like the Tanger that we know. He's playing just like how Malkin's been playing.
Yeah.
He's having a very bad season where he looks nothing like how he was supposed to be coming into this year.
Yeah. All right.
Which is disheartening. I give him a C-.
Yeah. Yeah. C-. Bordering on D+, to be honest.
Very border. Like, about to jump the border. That's how close he is to the border.
Yeah. All right. Ryan Shea.
Oh, you teased me.
I teased you a little
Oh, you teased me good.
but F.
F. That's another one.
F3.
F3. Yeah, 3. Sorry, I'm going to get ahead of myself.
Getting a little ahead of yourself. I mean, there's not much to really talk about with Ryan Shea.
No, because he's, again, another non-factor.
Yeah. Like,
It's, like, I don't know why we are okay with having all these non-factors on our team.
yeah. I don't know why they even re-signed him.
I don't get it either.
Like, he should be down. Like, we should have waived him in training camp and kept John Ludwig.
Agreed.
All right. Should we go to goalies before we talk about him?
No, we're talking about him now. I'm tired of this. I've been going on this rant with my buddy who I watched the Flyers game with. My buddy Luke, I sit down and watch. When he's home from RMU, we sit down and watch the games.
Ryan Graves.
And boy, oh boy, did I have a great tirade for how bad sorry, you have me thinking about Shea. Ryan Graves has been playing. No points. Goalie has better stat line than him.
There's probably half a dozen goalies in the league that have more points than this dude.
He doesn't have a freaking point the entire year. The entire season.
For the record, yes, we have the same last name. No, we are not related.
But he's just there. It's like he doesn't know how to play hockey. Like he's on the ice, and he's there, and he stands in a spot, but doesn't move from spot to make a defensive play.
Yeah.
He has a plus-minus of -9, which I don't understand because I feel like every time the other team scores, he's on the ice.
How does he have a better plus-minus than Tanger? How does he have a better plus-minus? Who was the other? I know Bunting was the other -16, but wasn't there one more? Was it?
Crosby has a -15.
Jesus Christ.
And Graves has a better, like, it's, I don't get it. It's not like he's played half the year or played, like, a handful of games. He played 40 games. 40 games.
$4.5 million a season doesn't seem like a lot.
But in the NHL cap room, that's a lot.
And for him to not have a single point is...
Is there a grade lower than F? Can we bring in that grade Z that everyone brings up?
I wanted to do this because I did this in a gag when I was doing free agency last year. F minus 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 minus.
Why don't you add 2 more minuses to that one?
Yeah,
because that's how Ryan Graves has been playing. I have so many text messages of me sending full paragraphs where you have to click on it to read the rest of it, of me just going off about Ryan Graves because for how bad he's been playing this season.
Yeah.
Well, goalies.
What's the breaking point with Ryan Graves? Because it should have been so long ago.
It should have been the Rangers game.
Easily.
Oh, how do you bring a puck from the middle of the crease back to the right side, back to the middle, and back to the right, and it hit the post, and then whiff? When you have a wide open net.
Shesterkin's on the other side of the net.
And you still... I mean, I wouldn't say this about every player because I get that stuff happens. But when you have no points, that's very bad.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, by the way, when he was originally credited the point from Flyers in that one goal, I jumped up my buddy. I said, he got a point. He got a point. Woke up this morning, my buddy sent me a screenshot of his stat line back down to 0. Funniest text I woke up to this morning.
All right, goalies. Let's start with Alex Nedeljkovic.
Okay, I was going to worry you were going to start back to back with goalies. I mean, with players I want to do tyrants about.
No, let's start with Ned because he's easily been the best goalie this season.
He is the best goalie. He has a save percentage of 0.9. He has a GAA of 2.93 with 12 wins, 9 losses. And
that save percentage is still below average, but
it's better than our Wilkes-Barre goalie right now.
Our entire goalie room is still kind of a mess. But Ned's
look good. Ned has dealt with a lot.
Yeah, he was hurt to start the season, and then he was... I don't want to say he was fighting for his job because of what happened with the other two.
Well, Blomqvist, I get what he's going through. He's a rookie playing the NHL for the first time.
Yeah.
But the other one has no excuse. Mm-mm. We're not going to name the other one because the other one's going to be our last name that we're going to mention.
Oh, yeah.
Because that is a whole thing in itself. But don't let you forget. Yeah, he has 3 points.
Yeah.
This season. 3 more points than Ryan Graves has. He has 1 more goal than him. He has 1 more assist than him. No, sorry, I lied. He has 2 points on the year. And both of those points...
I thought he had a second assist. I was...
So, both of those points happened in the same game.
Yep.
And Ryan Graves has yet to break up a point.
I will place on screen right now all the goalies that have more points than Ryan Graves.
It's just a running gag at this point. I mean, I think I could make a point in the NHL before Ryan Graves does.
I could probably do it. I can't stand on skates.
It's bad. It's so bad. But anyways, enough of Ned.
Well, what do you give him?
I give him a B.
Yeah.
He coming back hurt and having a win percentage of not 1%. Sorry, win-loss record of 12-9. We're coming back from not even a small injury. It was a big injury he had. So he missed most of the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I think he was on LTIR.
Yeah,
If I'm
so
not mistaken.
he's playing good for what he's given. He has no front to help him. Though at this point, our forwards are playing more defense than our defense is playing.
Yeah.
So he's doing good for what he has.
I don't want to say he's had a career resurgence since coming to Pittsburgh, but
It's been better.
But he does not look nearly as bad as he did with the Red Wings.
Well, again, that's Detroit.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother thing in itself.
He looks a lot more like Hurricanes Ned.
Yes, he does. A lot more like Hurricane Ned.
Yeah.
Ned, they gave me nightmares to have him to wake up and play the next day.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to Blomqvist. Let's go to the rookie. I'm not saying he's playing bad.
No, he's not playing. He's not playing bad. He obviously doesn't have a defense to help him at all.
Again, yes, I agree. But you also got to realize we've also been very spoiled in goalies.
Yeah.
Where we had Matt Murray,
Flower.
And
even like.
Let's just stick with Flower and Murray.
Yeah.
Flower came in first round draft pick. We knew Flower was going to be this guy.
Yeah.
Flower was this guy for so long. And then Matt Murray came, this rookie that we had no idea about.
Yeah.
Played insane for being a rookie. I'm not saying Blomqvist looks like Matt Murray. He doesn't. I mean, again, Matt Murray was helped by a solid defensive core that was here. But what Blomqvist is doing with the core of defense that we have is actually not too bad.
Yeah.
I mean, his stats doesn't say it.
He's 3-8.
He's 3-8 with a 3.5 goal average.
Yeah.
Which isn't great.
That goal against.
Sorry if I sound snuffled. I'm going through something with my nose, and that's why I'm going off camera to wipe my nose. That's why I'm just going through the weather. But
love that.
Yeah, we love it. Blomqvist is not having a bad year for being a rookie.
Yeah.
And not even a rookie that had time to grow. He's a young guy.
He's 22. He's 22 years old, and I think he still has a future. I think we have a future stud tandem.
We do.
Because look at him and look at Sergei Murashov.
Down in Wilkes-Barre right now. He's playing on his head right now.
He's insane.
He's standing on his head. He's outplaying Tristan Jarry.
Yeah.
Who is an NHL, mind you, a former NHL All-Star. Let's just put that out there.
Murashov isn't even old enough to drink. He's 20 years old.
Same age as us.
Yeah.
Which is insane to think about. Okay, let's get to him. Do you want to start? Or do you want me to start?
Okay, what do you give Blomqvist?
I give Blomqvist a B. Only because he's doing what he's doing as a rookie. I mean, the Philly game did not look good for him, but he's having a solid year.
I'm gonna say C+.
That's I'm at that point where I don't want to give him a C+, but he deserves a C+. It's like that gray area for me with him.
I want to see him come back up after Four Nations.
Agreed. I don't want Jarry back up here.
But I want him to have that. But I think if you're just sending him down for these 2 weeks to give him some time in Wilkes-Barre to kind of...
Which is very smart of us to do, by the way.
Not necessarily get his shit together, but to just kind of get back to form, I guess.
Yeah. Get back to form and get back to where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get to him.
Tristan Jarry.
Jarry. I just love Tristan Jarry so much.
Raise up that F counter.
Oh, that's another one. And we pay him how much?
$5.4 million a year.
For how many years?
This is the second year of a 5-year deal.
I just wanted everyone to listen to what his contract is. And he's not even on our roster.
Yeah.
It is bad.
It's really bad.
It's worse than what Matt Murray's last year was here.
The I think last season maybe the last 2 seasons you could blame it on injuries. This season, no. You cannot do that. He's just bad.
Oh, in general, he's just not an NHL goalie. I'm sorry to say it, but
he's 29 years old.
He gets hurt too much.
Yeah.
Consistently out. He's inconsistent in that. He can't win back-to-back games to save his life.
And God forbid we make the playoffs. We're fucked because he can't perform in the playoffs to save his life.
No, he can't. I mean, we saw the last game he played was the Rangers the year that what was it? Spicy chicken was the big joke around the locker room.
Spicy pork and broccoli.
Yeah, that's what it was. What was his name?
Louis Domingue.
Domingue was outplaying.
I think he's got a few games with the Rangers or does he? I don't know.
But anyways, Moving on. Jari has the same percentage of 0.886.
That's better than I thought it was, to be honest.
A goal average of 3.31.
Pretty sure he started the season with like an 8.35.
He is 8 for 8. GS. And then he has goals against 69, saves 528, and he has penalty minutes, but that's not important.
Well, yeah.
But the thing about it,
we kind of have a history with goalies taking a lot of penalty minutes. Flower's the all-time leader in goalie penalty minutes.
yeah, because Flower liked to fight, and NHL needs more of that.
Stop ripping him away from goalie fights. We want goalie fights.
Yes, we want goalie fights, but Jari's he's like a solid F.
Yeah,
like solid F.
8.
And the fact that we gave up, I'm not saying Casey Smith is an answer, but he would have been a better option than Tristan Jarry at this point.
Probably. I mean,
we gave up Jarry. We gave up a chance to bring Flower back to keep Jarry. I want you to think about that.
Yeah.
We could afford Fleury and just have him ride out his career here. But no, we kept this guy.
Yeah.
Who can't play to his contract.
There's so many better there were so many better options on the free agent market the year that they signed that Jarry contract.
So many more options.
Yeah.
We could have had a Ned and Fleury tandem right now.
Leave him down in Wilkes-Barre for the rest of the season, please.
And then trade him next year. Even if it's for a 5th round draft pick. Trade him.
I think there's a chance Wilkes-Barre makes the AHL playoffs. I think there's definitely a chance.
No, 100% a chance. That team's insane.
So maybe see what he's like, but
don't even play that game.
No. You don't use him as a playoffs even in the playoffs, even in the AHL?
Nope. If you want to see what you have, play the young kid in the playoffs.
Let Blomqvist and Miroshov just go at it.
Yep. Let them go at it. And see what you got when you got a goalie in crunch time. Because that's where you see the best goalies play. In crunch time. And Jari's not a crunch guy player.
No.
He's a guy who's going to give up all the goals.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's it for the Penguins' grades.
Yeah, that was a lot.
Yeah, that is so bad.
All right. Let's talk about the now biggest suspension of the season. Ryan Hartman. What are you doing, bud?
He looked like he was in UFC. He put a forearm in the guy's neck, slammed his head into the ice.
Yeah, so
and the guy was cut from, I want to say, halfway through his eyebrow down to his face. Not like the cut wasn't that long, but you can see the blood stream from halfway through the eyebrow down the side of his face.
Do I put it in and risk getting demonetized?
No, I don't think we should put that in and let the viewers watch that. But it was bad. If you guys want to go ahead and open up a second tab,
look at the Sportsnet. I'll link it in the description.
Yes.
Look at the Sportsnet.
It was bad.
It was bad.
It was worth 10 games.
Yeah.
This year of NHL suspensions has been hit and miss.
I'm gonna be honest. When I first saw it, I thought Hartman just blew a tire and
Yeah.
just happened to land on him from the wide angle. That's what it looked like.
But when you looked up close, you could see the intent of I'm putting my arm on your neck and I'm pushing you down.
Yeah,
Which
and it was a hard ass hit.
honestly, the guy who hit the ice, I can't remember his name right now.
Tim Stutzla.
Yes, he's lucky that it was just a cut.
Yeah,
Because neck goes any other way, you mess up a big vertebrae up here, and then you stretch it down. You can go do something to the spine if your neck kicks up like that. So it was just scary to think about that could have happened. And honestly, I don't even mind that being a bigger suspension than just 10 games.
yeah.
Because that could have ended very bad, and be a very black eye for the NHL.
Well, we had a 41 game suspension last season. Shane Pinto. You know what that was for?
I can't remember.
Betting.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah. Betting got 41 games, but near neck injury got 10 games. What is Gary Bettman doing?
He's being Gary Bettman.
That's what he's doing. All right, well, enough with the suspension talk. Enough with how bad the Pens are playing. Let's talk about the four nation.
Yeah, it's time. After some brief technical difficulties.
Because some reason this decided to have freak out. Let's just move this back to the right spot.
Yeah.
Anyways, why don't you go ahead and explain the four nation?
Okay, so we are about to experience the closest hockey equivalent to the World Baseball Classic, the Four Nations Face-Off. Now, it's not all the nations. I would have loved to see that, but Russia's a no-no.
Yeah, I would love to see a full Russia team. I just wanted to see Malkin and Ovi on the same line.
That would be sick. Germany, not big enough. Denmark, not big enough. Norway, not big enough.
Nowhere even close.
But still, then why don't you bring in some international players?
I mean, yeah, you could do that, but this was supposed to be an NHL thing.
Yeah.
So which is again, we're going to see this next year with the Olympics. We're going to see a lot of international players play.
Yeah.
But for right now, with what we got as the four nations,
Canada, the U.S., Sweden, and Finland. It's going to be fun.
it's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah.
Especially us as Penguins fans. I mean, we're going to see Crosby in a playoff atmosphere for the first time in 2 years.
I'm sick of the All-Star break, the just normal NHL All-Star game, to be honest. I mean, is it as bad as the Pro Bowl? No.
Nowhere even close to the NBA All-Star game.
No, the NBA All-Star game is actually fun.
Well, when they want to play defense.
Yeah.
But that's a whole nother thing.
But the skills competition.
Skill competition is fun.
Yeah.
Always fun to watch. I always loved the shootouts when they used to come up with their own, like it was like a free-for-all shootouts. And I think it was PK dressed up as Yager. And like seeing stuff like that is what I like to see. But like the games themselves are just boring.
Yeah. Why are we playing 10-minute 3-on-3 periods?
I feel like I'm watching a NHL 16 game when I'm watching them play that. But anyways, I'm happy to see good competitive hockey played.
Yeah.
I hope no one gets hurt. I don't know if this is wood or not. Probably not. Wherever wood is around you, knock on wood, then no one gets hurt.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see. Again, we can chant USA, USA, USA.
Yep.
Be happy with it. And well, I'm gonna start off saying who's gonna win. We already know who should win. It's gonna be Team USA.
Okay. All right. Let's take.
We're gonna be hearing "Free Bird" all over again. I hope. I don't know. That's our song, our goal horn song.
I don't know what the goal song is. The thing is,
it should be "Free Bird" again.
This is being played in Montreal and Boston. So I don't know. I don't know how that's organized.
All right. Well, let's look at these teams overall.
Yeah. Let's take a look at the schedule. So it kicks off on Wednesday between Canada and Sweden.
What a way to start off.
That is a hell of a game to start it off. So I think Sweden's technically the home team. So where is this being played? This is being played in Montreal.
Oh, home game for Canada.
Well, but Canada is technically the road team.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. They're
Yeah.
playing and okay, let's look at Team Sweden. We got Sebastian Aho, Joel. Sorry, I'm gonna butcher these names. Joel
Armia.
Armia. We got
Sasha Barkov?
Barkov. We got Greiland from the Sharks. We got Carlson playing.
Well, that's not up to date because Granlund is no longer on the Sharks. He is now a Dallas Star.
Oh yeah, why isn't this up to date? Come on, NHL, get your crap together. This is Anyways, moving on. Like these teams are all consistent stars played, which is this Team Canada team. Oh my gosh, Crosby being on the second line should tell you enough about this team.
Yeah,
I think honestly, I'm happy that Canada and USA are on opposite sides of this, and we're not going to see it as like a big first game, which is going to be happy.
right.
I want to see Team USA versus Team Canada in the finals. Shouldn't have made me question. Team USA is going to win.
Yeah.
What do you have?
What? Who's USA's goalie tandem?
It is Hellebuck, and then I know. I'm pulling it up right now.
Connor Hellebuck and Jake Ottinger. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, Team USA all the way.
That is good. So, USA in their first game, that'll be against Finland in Montreal. And USA coach
Mike Sullivan.
Yeah. The two coaches there's two coaches that are that are currently NHL head coaches. It's the two longest tenured. Mike Sullivan for USA, John Cooper for Canada.
Yeah.
I don't know who the Finland and Sweden coaches are.
But they're not as known as Solvey and the Team Canada's coach. By the way, don't know if you know this, Director of Personnel for Team USA, Cal Dubas.
Oh, he's Canadian though.
Oh, sorry, for Canada.
I was gonna say.
Sorry, for Canada. So Dubas is the guy for Canada.
Yeah.
Which is probably why he's folding as the GM for the Penguins, because he's too worried about trying to win for Canada.
Ooh. Finland's goalie tandem is good on paper when you look at the names. Neither of their guys have an above 900 save percentage.
Could you read those names out for us?
Jussi Saros and Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen.
Oh. And it's good on paper, but like...
Jussi Saros, he is playing behind a horrible Preds team, but he's got an 8.99. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen is a Buffalo Sabre.
You know what I think this formation is going to come down to? You can correct me if I'm wrong. It's going to come down to whoever played the most playoff hockey.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these players, a lot of these teams are like thinking, oh, we got a good team. Good, solid, young team. A lot of these, like Team USA, riddled with people who play in the playoffs. Team Canada, half that team has been in the cup final or been near a cup final. It's going to take age. It's going to take this is what playoff hockey feels like. Because this is what all these games are going to be. Every game is going to be a playoff hockey game. It's who's able and willing to step up and be like, okay, I'm playing for my cup. I'm playing for my nation right now.
Yeah.
Which is we're going to see a lot of players, a lot of young players, to see where the NHL is in the next couple years. If we're going to be soaring, or we're just going to be okay with being with mediocre. Because that's what's going to happen with this Four Nations.
Yeah. Right now, when I'm looking at the goalie tandems, I'm taking Team USA. I just looked at Canada and Sweden's. Canada's goalie tandem is Sam Montembeault and Jordan Binnington.
Wow. That's underwhelming. There's so
That's
many more options.
very underwhelming.
I mean, they have an all-star cast in the forwards and in defensemen.
And then
That for goalie.
yeah.
At
And
that point, you might as well bring in Matt Murray and let Matt Murray play for you. Like, jeez.
40-year-old Flower.
Yeah. Yeah. You might as well put Flower in. I would have took Flower over any of those guys.
Yeah. And Sweden, it's great on one side. Philip Gustafsson,
Yeah, great.
he's going to be great.
Yeah.
Sam Ersson on the other side. He's a flyer.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's about all I can say about him.
Yeah, he's not great. He's not good. He's
No.
a Philadelphia Flyer.
Yeah.
There should be much more said about that team. That team fell off the wagon that they were on in the beginning of the year.
Yep.
And, I mean, again, that franchise got hit with something major that we're not going to talk about. But if, like, they got hit with something last year, they're also trying to make up for this year. Because they were good last year, and then someone got in trouble, which we're not going to speak about.
Nope.
But, so they're in the middle of doing a quick rebuild, which they was not planning on doing.
Feels like they've been doing that for almost a decade.
Yeah, since 2011, at
Yeah.
least.
Yeah, I'd say like the last time outside of the bubble they made the playoffs, 2018, they lost in the first round.
To who? To who?
Les Penguins.
The Penguins. But anyways, yeah, no, this Four Nations can be fun to watch.
Yeah.
This is why stuff like this in World Baseball Classic is so good for us.
Yeah.
So good for sports. And even if you talk about the Four Nations, let's even talk about outside of the Four Nations. This brings viewership to the NHL.
Mm-hmm.
They plan this perfectly. It's right after the,
Yeah.
and it's right before everybody starts caring about the NBA. Because, you know, everyone cares about the NBA at the beginning of the year, but no, it starts heating up in 2 weeks. So right now we're in this 2-week law of no baseball because we're in spring training. There is no football talk.
Yeah, because the big game just happened.
Yes, and then we're gonna hear all the free agency BS that no one cares about.
Yeah.
And then the NBA is the NBA until 2 weeks when it starts getting closer to playoff time.
And we're in the NBA All-Star break now.
Yeah, so it's like the perfect timing for this.
Yeah.
So this brings so much more viewership to the game of hockey because everyone's gonna be like, oh, what's on TV? What sport is on right now? No one's gonna go on the Ocho and watch some beanbag throws. They're gonna want to say, oh, NHL's playing. Let's go watch this.
Yeah.
And they're gonna turn on a Team Canada versus Team Sweden game with some of the best to play in the NHL, or even if they pick Team Canada versus Team USA.
Yeah.
Like, at least people from USA are going to gravitate to Team USA because that's just what happens.
And by the time this is over, it'll only be a few more weeks until the tourney.
Yeah, exactly. So this is great timing.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about something else with the Four Nations from the NHL standpoint. That this helps so many teams. Like, a lot of teams are on the bubble for the playoffs. This is a great break point. I mean, I know for us, at least as the Penguins, this is great for us. Couldn't come at a better time.
Yeah.
Because, like, we're not playing great. We're not playing bad.
We have a lot more guys that I would have expected coming into the season to make these teams.
Yeah, well, I mean, but it gives a lot of our young guys time off to go back and review what they're doing right and what they're doing wrong.
And Ryan Graves to sit on his ass?
And put up no more points. It's just no different for him. It's just another day in the office. But I think that's it for us in the office today. I think it's time for us to step out and sit down and edit this through.
Yeah.
But anyways, thank you for sitting through another Thielet and Graves podcast. Our links to our socials. We are now officially on Twitter, Instagram.
And this will be on our new YouTube channel.
Yes. And then, so this is on our new YouTube, our Instagram, our Twitter,
Yep.
and pretty soon, TikTok.
Yeah,
We're getting there.
we are getting there.
We are trying. TikTok is very weird right now.
Yeah, that's
Would-
one way to put it.
Well, let's just leave it there. But we are getting there with all of our socials. And then our personal socials will be attached to the description,
Mm-hmm.
where you can find out more stuff about me and about Isaac and I. But anyways, we'll see you next week on another episode of the Thielet and Graves podcast.
This podcast was made possible by the Center for Media Innovation at Point Park University.